This movie was excellent! Hey guys, Omni here. Just got finished watching Bill and Ted Face the Music. This movie reunites us with the dynamic duo many years since we last saw them. They now have a family, 2 adult daughters, and they are still struggling to write the song that unites the world and brings about the future and the prosperity that they had been told in the previous films. And this struggle, this goal of theirs, has been causing a lot of tension within their relationships, within their marriages as well. And that is kind of how this movie kicks off, with them going to couples therapy, as we saw in the trailer, and them kind of having this, not really ultimatum, but more of a wake-up call with their significant others that causes them to question all that they're doing. All of their contention at this point has been because they've devoted practically every ounce and fiber of their being to creating this song, and it's tearing apart pretty much everything else around them. And it's been years since they last had any kind of success. At this point, we start to see them really kind of question going about this or continuing to pursue it, and that's when the future comes to intervene again. Not only is their song needed to save the future, it is now needed to save all of reality itself. And now they only have 77 minutes to write that song. And that's when this movie kind of kicks into gear, when the future reaches back out to Bill and Ted to figure out why they haven't written this song yet. And that's what starts off our journey. Lots of movies add this ticking clock element, this time period, this time frame in which you need to have something done, otherwise there will be drastic consequences. And this, what I like about it is the 77-minute timer that they get is in real time, or at least mostly feels like that. It's loosely the length of the film from that point to the ending. And I like that because everything you're seeing from that point is in real time. And it's from that point too that they're struggling. They're like, okay, we have to know what to do. So they come up with the idea of how to get this song because they have not written it yet. They get the idea to steal the original phone booth, which has a nice little nod and cameo to George Carlin, who was in the original, into this, which was really nice. They take that and they try to go and find the point in their future where they did write the song so they could steal it from themselves and go back and perform it. And that's their journey in this. They are going throughout their lives trying to figure out where they've gone wrong, and it's really fun seeing these alternate versions of Bill and Ted and the way they interact and play off of each other. It's a lot of fun seeing these two just interact and these different iterations that they come up with for what happens to them because of their wacky and zany adventures that they go on in this. There's strangely a lot of heart, and I do want to add that Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter they just slide back into these roles. You know, Keanu Reeves has had such a resurgence now in the past couple of years, and it's just nice to see Alex Winter come in and really, honestly, I think he steals a lot of the show in this. But it just seems like they've been together ever since. Like they never split up. Their dynamic between each other and their chemistry is still all there. This is Bill and Ted, just older. Meanwhile, Bill and Ted's daughters, played by Samara Weaving and Brigette Lundy-Paine, get wrapped up in this as well, as Rufus's daughter comes back and gives them access to one of their time machines to help their fathers come up with this song. So they start traveling through the past, collecting musicians from throughout time to join the band that will play and perform with Bill and Ted once the time comes to play their song. And this movie is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of familiar elements, of course, with the daughters going back through time, visiting different historical musicians and bringing them together. You get some elements of the first film, and then we also have Death returning into this in a prominent role, played once again by William Sadler, and we get a little bit of some bogus journey in here as well. And there are a lot of familiar beats, but I feel like the way this plays out, it's really just like an homage to all of that. The original bits in this are a lot of fun. The thread throughout this and the journey that they go on. Honestly, this movie for me, it's silly. This movie is just to be fun. This movie is just to enjoy the ride and go along with it. It's a lot of goofy, zany fun, and I absolutely adore it. The chemistry between all of the characters in this, the performances are just enjoyable, fun, heartwarming to watch. I found myself getting emotional in this movie quite a bit. And by the end of it, like I was tearing up just with like joy. This movie's not perfection. It's not William Shakespeare. It's not a Christopher Nolan film. This movie is just here to not make you think, but to enjoy yourself, to have fun and feel these good feelings. Honestly, so far, I think this is what 2020 needed, is Bill and Ted to save the world and unite everybody. And it's not what's going to happen. Obviously, that's fantastical. But this movie, the feeling that it gives you by the end of it, I was getting pretty emotional, and just it just warmed me up by the end of this. And I started to tear up just from the joy, the spectacle, the feelings and emotions that these characters experience in this journey, and just the whole climax of this film. And honestly, I think out of everything that's come out this year, it's easily the most feel-good movie that I've watched. And it's not perfect. It's not some masterpiece or anything like that. And, you know, I wouldn't even say it's a better movie than the first or the second film. It's definitely not going to be more classic than either of those, but it's a good follow-up. It's solid. It feels like it's a natural progression of these characters. It's a really, really fun time, and I had a lot of fun watching this. I mean, there's not really a lot to say. It's Bill and Ted. This is a funny movie. If you just want something to relax to, have some fun, have some laughs, it really uplifted my spirits today, and I really love it for that. I think this movie just warms the soul because these characters are all so genuine. There's not a lot of depth or layers to them. They're just unabashedly themselves, and that's what I always dug about these two characters, and now their daughters, their family. I think this was a fun thing for them to do. You can rent it, you can buy it right now, whatever you want to do with it, but I do recommend it. That's all I've got to say about it. I don't want to say too much more because I really don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So if you check it out, if you've checked it out, let me know your thoughts, sound off in the comments, and we can carry on the conversation after the video. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.